Hi there, Troy Swank from Great Day on the Water Guide Service, and welcoming you to this episode of Fishing and Hunting the North Country. It's early February. We're out on a West Metro lake in the West Metro area of the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Got some fish down there already. We just set up, we're in about 12-13 feet of weed water. I got a little one on some weeds, and just got started here. We got some little sunfish and some crappies down there. As it gets lighter here this time of year, these crappies are very nocturnal, so we're hoping for a few here quick, and then it'll be just sunfish after that, and bigger sunfish than that. It's early February. A lot of times you think the deeper holes, but we're actually on a 12 to 13 foot shelf with weeds on it right before we drop down into a deeper hole. And this is where we found fish, crappies early, hopefully a couple here, and then again late around sunset and into the dark, and then sunfish in between there. So we'll get back to it here and try to get some crappies here first, hopefully on film, and then some bigger sunfish after that, and then we'll talk about the techniques we're using, the equipment, and why we're where we're at, and hopefully get some good footage of some nice crappies and sunfish in there as well. So stay with us.
Got our first fish of the morning here. Lift him up. We're out on talk about in the opening of West Metro area lake here. It didn't take long. We got stuff down and we see fish right away, and there's a nice sunfish to start us off. So we might still catch a couple crappies first thing here, but then it'll be mostly sunnies. Crappies are more at night, but we'll see if we can get some more. Nice start, Dad.
All right, we got a crappie too. There, we've got sunfish and crappies down there, and they're biting pretty well here. You can see on the flasher there, we're in between 12 and 13 feet of water with some weeds up to about 10, and then you can see fish are popping up as soon as we get our bait down. They pop up out of the weeds. So we'll stay out of here, but crappies and sunfish now. Let's look around the transfer. There we go. All right, got another crappie here. Not a bad one. Hold him here. Look right in the top of the snout with that jig. Alright, so put him in the bucket with a whole meal of fish put together here between crappies and sunnies. So same deal, he just came up out of the weeds, hit my jig right away, and you can tell the crappies just kind of grab it and sit there. Sometimes they even just straighten the spring bobber because they take the weight off the bait, so you can always tell a crappie bite versus the sunfish kind of hit it and take off with it. So put it in the bucket there. Get that tungsten tubby tipped with a couple of euro larvae. I gotta put one more on there, get that back down there, and see if we can get some more. Alright, we got another nice sunfish here. Hitting them pretty good. They're down there popping up out of those weeds every time we drop a bait down. We're gonna keep a few sunnies and a few crappies today, try to get one meal of fish, but we'll let everything else go. Important tip on a day like today when they're just jumping up the hole, try to avoid the idea about freezer filling, and just keep a nice fresh meal and let the rest go so they can grow up and be there another day. We'll get back to it here.
Alright, my dad's got another one here. Another nice sunfish. You see on the flasher down there, there's another fish, two fish down there coming up. You can see them coming up out of the weeds. We have about 12 to 12 and a half feet of water. Weeds up to about 10. Let's take a look at that one. And fish are popping right up out of those weeds, and they're letting them have it. So we're going to put him in the bucket. There's some fish in the bucket. And get back down there and get some more. Good job, Dad. This is kind of fun, huh?
Oh yeah. When they're hitting like that, it is.
Yeah, every time you get your bait down there, there's a fish waiting. Alright, my dad's got another nice bull there. Get the hook on him and take a look at this guy.
A little feisty.
Yeah, we're only catching them in 12, 13 feet of water here. These fish are very active. All the fish that we're releasing are zipping down the hole pretty quick, so we'll get him in the bucket and get back to it.
Alright, another crappie. Oh, He's barely hooked. Flip him here and show him. So early here, a few crappies mixed with the sunnies, and then crappies will let up here at some point. The sunnies will take over. So, but a nice mix here early, the first hour and a half after sunrise. For the shallow weeds, you'll get some crappies. Really cold last night, but if you wanted to sit out here all night, you'd catch crappies pretty off and on pretty much all night. There'd be a peak bite to the first few hours after sunset, off and on during the night, and then a peak bite right before sunrise again into just a little after sunrise here. But when they slow down, then we'll just keep catching sunfish. So, all right, got another nice sunfish there. Keeping ourselves a meal today. I'm going to take this time to go over some of our equipment that we're using. If you take a look, we're using Humminbirds. I'm using a Humminbird Helix Ice 7. I've got it on the flasher ice fishing mode. You can see we're in at 12.5 feet of water, and we've got weeds up to about 10, and they're just dropping down, and the fish are coming up out of the weeds to hit. If you pan around, you can see we're fishing today out of a clam hub shelter. This is the Bigfoot XL 4000T, which is an 8x8 hub, 6.5 feet high, and then 8 foot by 8 foot at the base. Plenty of room to fish. We fish 4 guys out of here all the time. 2 of us. It's kind of spacious today, but we decided to spoil ourselves with some room. Used my Strike Master, my new Strike Master lithium ion 40 volt auger to drill. We got about 28 inches of ice. We're having a cold winter here in the upper Midwest. Not a ton of snow, a little bit below average snowfall, but we're doing about 5 to 6 degrees colder on average so far for the winter months. So we made some good ice. I'm using this as a St. Croix, the new St. Croix Legend Black ice rod. This is the 24-inch ultralight with the adjustable strike indicator on the end there. I'm using a Cold Gear Ice inline ice fishing reel. This is 2-pound test Berkeley Vanish fluorocarbon, and then that's tied directly to a this is the smallest size of the VMC tungsten tubby. It's a tungsten jig, so it's got more weight for its size. Get it down there quick, and then you can see I have that rigged up with 2 red Euro larvae. So far we're not getting much of a pattern. This is a pink and white and chartreuse. My dad's using an orange and chartreuse custom jigs and spins gill pill, and he's got that tipped with a single wax worm, and that seems to be catching just as many fish as this is. And then lastly, we've got a dead stick over here with a bobber. We've got a crappie minnow hanging underneath a bobber down the 3rd hole here. Trigger crappies if a walleye or northern would swim through, but just the action of that minnow swimming around on the hook tends to attract fish into the area, even if they don't bite on it. So that's a quick little rundown of the equipment. We're just on a shelf here down into a deep hole. We're on a shelf on the drop-off going down to a deeper hole, a shelf with some weeds on it. And some years, this time of year, we're in early February here. Sometimes they'll be down in that deep hole, but they've been using these weeds a lot, both the sunfish and the crappies. The crappies are more nocturnal. We caught a couple here first thing this morning right after we got set up. Not seeing many of them now. They'll pick up again this evening around dark. But in between there's sunfish using this the whole time. So this could be an all-day situation where you catch a few crappies first thing, sunnies all day, and then some crappies again tonight. So that's our equipment. We'll get back to it here and see if we can catch some more fish.
Dad's got one here. Yeah, not a bad bluegill. Hold him up there. We'll take a look at him. Turn around, show us that one quick, and then.
Well, let me get a hold of him here so you can see him.
Yeah, that's not bad.
An active one.
So, yeah. We're knocking them around pretty good here. We're catching about 1 out of every 3 is keeper size. We're about done keeping fish, but we'll sit here and catch them. Chilly day, but yeah, that'll be, I think, I'll double check the count, but I think that'll be our last one. We got a nice meal there, about a dozen crappies and sunnies. But having a nice day. It's a chilly day. It's about 5 degrees outside. It was about 0 when we came out, but inside the house with the buddy heater going here, it's nice and toasty inside here.
Good heat, good fish, a lot of fun.
Yeah, great time. Good job.
There we go. Nice nice bull male bluegill there. 8-incher or so. Let's actually get a measure on him. He is 7 3/4. So bites, we're getting later in the morning here. Bites starting to slow a little bit, but we're still catching them. So just a little slower, a little smaller. But we'll get back to it here and see if we get a few more big ones yet before we're done for the morning.
Okay, my dad's got another one here. Looks like a nice bluegill. I'm up out of the holder. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
Look at that one. Yeah, that's not bad. Put him in the bucket.
Well, we'll try.
Alright, there's our fish in the bucket. Some crappies in there and some sunfish. We'll have that one. Found a little live well on the ice there from the melting from the heater. Good job, Dad.
Well, they just keep on biting.
Yeah.
Another decent sunfish there. Yeah, about 8-incher. Lots of those out here. Occasionally we get a 8.5, and then there's lots of 7s. Good fish. Boy, are we stacking them up. I don't know how many. I mean, it's still early here. A few crappies and a bunch of sunnies, and I got a feeling it's going to go good all day here. So I better quit talking and get back down there. Come on, there we go. All right, there's a nice solid bull bluegill there. About a 8.5-inch. Male, got him hooked right in the tip of the snout with that Austin tubby, a couple of Euro larvae. So we're seeing fish coming up every time you drop your bait down. We're seeing fish come up out of the weeds. Some of them are kind of pecking at it and nudging at it, and eventually you'll catch one of those. A lot of times those are the smaller ones, and then all of a sudden one just hits it like that one did, and a lot of times those are turning out to be the bigger ones. So we're having to weed through. We've got 8 sunfish and a crappie in there. 1 or 2 more, we'll have a nice meal. So for those 9 keeper fish in there, we probably released another 20 or so. So about 1 out of every 3 or so is a nice solid keeper. That's kind of how it is when you're up on these weeds, but good action. Fish down there all the time. Hardly time to take a break to get something to eat, but might do that here in a little bit, and we're back when we get some more. transducer. There we go. There's another nice sunfish there. 8-inch or so on that little tungsten tubby. These look good. A couple of red Euro larvae on there. There we go. Got him off. Let him go. Wake up. Alright. Just doing the same thing we've been doing the whole time here. So we'll get back to it and see if we can get another one.
Alright, my dad's got one here. Yeah, they always do that to get into that transducer. That's not a bad one. Got all the fish that we're going to keep today, but still a good one. Nice job, Dad. We'll get back when we get ourselves another one here. There we go. Another nice bluegill, about an 8-inch bowl there. Still on that little tungsten tubby jig with a couple of red Euro larvae on there. So we got plenty of fish to keep. We'll let him go, but you can see they're down there. Some water on the screen, hanging out right above the weeds there. So we'll go back down and try to get some more. We're knocking them around. We're out here. This is the results of the day. We got a nice batch of sunfish here and a couple of nice crappies. We caught fish like this all morning long. So just remember all the tips that we showed during the show. Early February, fish up on the weeds right by the top of a drop-off to head down to deeper water. Using that super light gear, 2-pound test line, ultralight rod, tiny little jig, waxworms or Euro larvae, and watch that flasher closely. And this can be the results. We're going to have a nice little fish fry of crappies and sunfish tonight. Thanks for watching this episode of Fishing and Hunting the North Country, and we'll see you next time.